Live Thursday night show for everyone. So, and what a week it's been. I know we say that every week, really, don't we? Okay, first things first. If you're watching on the previous streams, I like to add that in. I know we're live at the moment, but I like to add that in for the people who watch after the show's done. Thank you for watching. Really good to see you here. But you better if you could come on when we're actually live. But, good to catch up and see what we're all been up to. So, yes, thank you. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, free of charge, that would be very welcome and would really help lots of people, particularly me. Evening, JBM. How are you? Hope you're okay. Hope you had a good week. Evening, Big Gaz. So you're all rolling in now. I'm always first. Yeah, you're always there first, JBM. Oh dear. That's like we know what's happening. Hi, Trains. How are you? Good to see you here. So, what has everyone been up to this week? Now, this week's topic. Now, I've been kind of thinking, what can we have a chat about? So, I was going to look at what we was like when we was at school. We're going to look at school days this week, and that's my little bonus sort of thing that we can discuss and have a chat about. So, what was school like for you? Kind of, sort of, well, I don't know. I suppose primary and high school and infant and all that kind of thing, or whatever it's called now. Who knows? Big Gaz, Chippy Vid made me very hungry. What was that? Yeah, yeah. I thought we had to do one really. So, an odd kind of, I don't know. It's been such a hectic week, and I've had another call about next week's work, my normal job, and I'm literally on the road all next week, maxed out with meetings. Oh dear. Anyway, there's so much going on. I don't think I've ever had a year, literally, considering we're still in winter, be this busy. But there we go. It keeps the world going round, and so. But yes, so we're gonna have a little chat about our school days. If anyone wants to throw anything in, any good treats or anything at all, that'd be good to share. I'll bring some comments in later once we've done our little initial. So, first things first, we have got a cuppa. Oh, yeah. Oh. So, yes, I was a bit rushed this week and not really had time to go out and do you a lunchtime vid, which I normally try and do Wednesday or a Thursday. And yeah, can you explain what your channel is about for all the new people? Yes, I certainly can, JBM. So my video was generally about traveling. So that could be in the country, out of the country, to different places. As you know, travel can cover lots of different things. And that's kind of why I went with that title. So it can cover lots of different sort of films that we could do. So yes, so the channel is about travel. Like I said, different places. It's also about dog walks. Obviously, I've still got a dog at the moment. She's hanging in there. So, so it's about finding odd little dog walks. I'm a bit behind on the old dog walks, but I have got some coming. I know I keep saying that every week, but it's you've only got so much time. And what was I going to say? It says what you get, old, doesn't it? Yeah, so we've done Travels dog walks, and on a little side project I do, I'm incorporating within the travels and the walks, going out, archiving towns, villages, having a little walk around, and kind of trying to not so much do the big towns and cities, although we will do them. But I want to capture all the little villages and, little really small villages or hamlets or whatever they are, and capture them at least for archive. And there may not be much there, and my list is growing. And I went through another place this week, which I thought, we'll need to. There's a few bits here we can make a film, and I'm sure JBM will, a few of the YouTubers will be able to tell you when you kind of research these places and have a look, you you have to film it sometimes as when you get there, which is what I like to do. and the other bit, you're trying to measure it out in your mind. All this is how I do mine because you're here to create a film for people as well. And I'm sure, I'm not going to be snapped up by Hollywood tomorrow, obviously. But but you do get the mindset of, right, well, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I need to do that and that. Hi, Mick. How are you? Are you back in the UK now, or are you still out there? So I did capture one of your ones today. I've got a lot more to go though. So BTW, how are you? Good to see you here. Got all these nice little new ones coming in. Good to see. I'll tell you what, let's have a swig of this again. Oh, now last weekend we went finally to a place I wanted to do, and I've kind of been holding it off. And we went to Fort Ness and Suffolk. So, right, let me just check through all these messages while they're flowing through. You can't plan a script for this kind of stuff because you might not get to the part, or you might. Yeah, this is why all my stuff is unscripted. Two reasons: one, I can't be asked, and two, I have to work a normal job Monday to Friday, and I don't have the time to sit here writing scripts. That's the honest truth. So, and my channel, I never wanted my channel to turn into a corporate video. There's enough people out there doing that kind of thing, and they do it way, way, way better than me. I'm still learning, like I'm sure many people are. So I wish, mate, we only had 4 days here, back since Friday. Oh, okay. Oh, I hope you had a nice time anyway, mate. That looked quite good. Yeah, not to be correct, but I can only give you. Yes, so a bit like JVM's put in there, I basically, I'll maybe do a little bit of Googling, something like that, or Google Gemini. And, I just, I kind of just do it on the hop. Again, a lot of my videos about travel, about dog walks, and my little village walks and that are about if you went there as well. So I don't want to, turn it into, some televised drama. I want to go there as if you, the viewer, were going there with me and we've never been before. And we're just going to find stuff out as we go round, which is why I like the information boards. And I've definitely had a few times where people have said, "Oh, you should have researched that," or I think you should have, read a bit more on history." I'm not a history channel. I know I've said this a few times, although I'll kind of keep going over it because it gets boring. But I'm not doing history. There's way, way better people who are way more qualified to talk about places, and they can tell you so much info um, about the history and that. So I will leave the history bits for the experts. I'll just tell you what I read off at the time, and they can't be wrong then, can I? Right, where are we? So one thing you should always go on by what's in front of you. Yeah, I'd like to make mine kind of natural and do it that way. I think it's better, and I'd like to see channels where you just kind of turn up and you just tell us what you see and what you do, and that's kind of thing. I find it hard to believe the average family, the average couple, person, whoever, I can't believe for a minute that they go to a place and they think, oh, hang on, we won't go there until we've completely researched it all. I appreciate they're not making a YouTube video like us, like, but it's I just like to go. It's all about the walks and what we see. Right, what we got here? Might be going plain spot and going to Kongs. Also, but yes, there is. Now that's another place. I'm not saying I'm jealous trains, but yeah, I know what you mean. I bet that'll be really good. So capture as much as you can so we can have a look. Oh dear, I'm not sitting on a PC looking for it to waste my time. Then to be told exactly. I've already had it a few times where, to be fair, I haven't really researched it. Because there's some places I've been to I kind of known because I've lived in that area. So I'll give you what I know. May well be wrong, but yeah. I'm not here to do research videos and all that. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. So there we go. Never mind. But there, yes, we're there for the walks, and that's what it's all about. So anyway, back to Fort Ness. Now I've seen quite a few people do Fort Ness. I'd never been before. It's one of them places I've always wanted to go, heard lots and lots about, but just had to go and check it out for myself. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing there, I have to say. It's you can clearly tell there's some people there for £3. I think you definitely got to have some money in your bank to have property or to go there. But to actually walk around the place, it's something totally out of this world because it just seems so. I don't know whether the word magical is right, but it's so different and unique. I suppose that's the word we're looking at. But it's certainly good. Definitely, I could see it being a photographer's dream, especially different parts of the year. Perhaps when we're going from summer into winter and that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely a place worth a visit, and to see obviously the House in the Clouds, very famous building there. Just to look along the beach and that it was, and some of the setting there. It's yeah, a very lovely place. Definitely a lot of second home holders there, I believe. So right, hi Metal, how are you? Good to see you here. So, but yeah, that was quite a good day. Quite a good day. So we saw a few people, had a little natter with some people. But it's definitely a big dog walking place. So, and that was really great. And I could see loads and loads. That was just like one constant line of dog walkers along the beach. So now we have got Sizewell coming soon. I'm gonna kind of do Leiston and Sizewell sort of all, and we'll kind of mash that all into one when we go and do that video. I'm not certain when we're gonna do that yet, but that one's coming. And I'm not certain where we're going to go this weekend. I'll have a think because my kind of list is growing at the moment, so we'll see how we go. I have to go from it. Okay, trains, no worries. But yeah, but lots more to capture and lots more to do. So, how are you guys been? That's what we need to know. Oh, what have you got planned and what you got coming up? Like I said, there's a few people on here who do their own channels. So don't forget, as usual, give them a sub and a like and a view. I've got to admit, this week, I think it's just one of them things what's happening at the minute, but I have to say that the subs seem to be up and down, up and down. I've just been, you kind of, when you start the channel, you get so obsessed with, because you're trying to get to that golden thousand. And I have to say, um, you just can't keep up with YouTube. I don't really know what's going on with it, whether that's just how it is at the moment, but the sub count seems to be so up and down at the moment, and even the views, I'm definitely not getting the views like I used to get, but then again, watching some other bits today, it looks like a lot of other people are getting this, so I don't know. Don't know whether that's just something they've done on the algorithm, or it could be the crap I'm turning out. Who knows? But there, YouTube has been playing up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it this week. It's 1 minute you got a load of sub. I mean, I noticed I actually lost a sub just walking to this room to get the channel done. But there, never mind. Just how it is. We'll have to carry on. Keep calm and carry on. Oh dear. But there, I suppose it's kind of still going in the right direction. So I suppose that's something. Oh, now, school. Let's get back to our little question of the night, school. Now, my infant and junior school when I grew up was, well, one that's not even there anymore. Well, the building is, but it's not a school anymore. It definitely closed. I'm trying to think when that closed now. I think kind of late 80s. And it's quite an old building, and my school was quite out in the sticks. Um, although I went to the high school in the village, but the infant and junior school we didn't do. I didn't go to the one in the village. There was one nearer to me, and that, but it was more out in the sticks. So that was quite good, especially in the winter time. Now, obviously, we're going to do with my growing up, which would have been 70s and 80s. You know, when we used to actually get snow. I'm away next month, just at home 9 days. All right, okay, that's good. Good. I'd love to go on a trip. Yeah, that'd be nice. Do everyone know about the hype button on you? I'm not certain. There is these hype buttons if people are not aware, and you can click that. I always try and click it when I see it on people's videos. I'm not going to say I 100% understand how it all works, but if you want to do that to mine, you're more than welcome. So I'm working one day next month. Yeah, I've just so overladen with work on my normal job at the minute. It's getting tough fitting YouTube in as well. But I'm not going to stop. We'll get it done. So I went to Fort St Andrews School. It was awful. Yeah, obviously I'm in Norwich now, but I didn't grow up here. I kind of grew up sort of west side of Kings Lynn. So I'm kind of. How old are you? I'm 54. There you go. Yeah, I'm pretty much next to you, Gaz, on that one. So yeah, I was in Norwich Sunday and Monday. All right, okay. Hope you had a good time then, JBM. Unfortunately, I was at home Monday, but I was stuck doing accounts, and I absolutely love a spreadsheet. So yeah. But yeah, yeah. So like I said, I grew up Kings Lynn way. So yeah, 60 this year. Wow, Mick, you'd never know. Nice one. Yeah, I'm back. Our trains is back. Well, that's very good. Well done. Congratulations on being a dad. I've done it a few times, as I'm sure a few people have on here. So, but yeah, no, best of luck. Best of luck. I'm sure you'll have your hands full now for the next 20 years, but there we go. Oh, dear. Who else we got on here? Jim Girl. Hi, how are you? Good to see you pop in here. Duxford when the weather gets warmer. Yes, we're all up for that. I've informed the missus we'll be off doing that. Just had a Bombay bad boy. That was 4 months at the date. Made a video. Oh, that's good. All right, I'll be looking out for that then, Mick. Yeah, Jim Gill said hi. Yeah, you said hi a few times. How are you? Good to see you pop in. It's warm though. I bet it is, mate. Yeah, I'm not too. I don't mind some. I wouldn't say right hot food, but yeah, I couldn't do the right hot stuff. So, has been Huto channel. What are we doing? I'm new to this channel. We're having a little chat and a natter amongst ourselves about different things. Or you can have a chat about my channel, or a chat about whatever you want to do, or anything like that at all, really. So, obviously, we are discussing about our school days when we was at school. So, but it is nice, friendly family banter on here. So, my nan died. Sorry to hear that. Hope you'll be okay, or best you can. But yeah, sympathies with you. Yes, it was fun days at school, and then kind of you go to that phase where you go to high school and it's all totally different, and that seems more structured. I suppose kind of infant junior school was a bit easy going, and then suddenly I don't know what it's like now, because they seem to I don't know, how can we say it? They seem to be sort of a bit mollycoddled a bit now. That's like I can remember my youngest one when she did sats and that, and you had like this huge build up to it and parents meetings and all this sort of thing. And I kind of thought to when I can remember suddenly getting told one lunchtime, and I'll never forget this story. I just suddenly got told, yeah, you're doing some exams in the afternoon after lunch. I thought, all right. And then that would have been the equivalent to what I suppose SATs and that is now. And yeah, so we had no build up. You didn't particularly do any rehearsal. You just went into it and did it. And I thought, all right. Oh dear, on 16 years school was fun. It was hard, but still fun. Yeah, yeah, I didn't mind it. So, like I said, high school. Suddenly, you went into this kind of a, I don't know, a miniature adult sort of world, and it was definitely more. I found it definitely more structured from what I can remember, and very quickly. So you had to learn pretty quick. And you was from your primary school, you suddenly stuck in this big place with lots and lots and lots of other people. So it's a kind of a big learning curve to do very quickly. So fish fingers, chips and beans, yes. Yeah, I remember fish fingers. So I was thinking, yeah, well, I used to love school, and some proper cooked meals. Yeah, I remember they used to come in. They were shipped into ours, and I suppose kind of warmed up and that sort of thing. Because, like I said, ours was out in the sticks. But but yeah, I can remember the old what we used to call it frog's board and pudding and, and things like that. Oh, that's quite funny. Definitely quite funny. Um, and yeah, I can certainly remember some of the meals, and actually some of the meals were quite nice. As much as I used to bock the school meals and dinners and that, but actually, yeah, it was. Actually, I thought some of it weren't too bad. Actually, to be honest, I used to get my dinner money taken by two yobs every week. Last year's, yeah, yeah. It's I kind of heard it go on. I never saw it, but yeah, yeah, not great all the time. So, what have I missed up here? My nan died. I'm sad. Yeah, like I said, sorry to hear about that. So, chicken pie, round scoop and mash. Yeah, actually, I used to like the mash. I'm sure it was very commercialised, but yeah, I hated school before leaving. Yeah, it was. I suppose when I left, it was you kind of felt it was that time to go really. So I kind of had a job automatic. I never did sick form. I never did degrees and all that bloody stuff. So I know I wasn't clever enough for that. So I kind of because I was going the army route, so I kind of already had a job lined up before I left. What is it, kitten? So yeah, it's all right. It's just my cat here having a little sleep, or she was. Yeah, I kind of already had a job lined up, so literally, I think I only had when we kind of literally finished school. I only had about a week off. I think it was about a week or 2 weeks. I'm pretty certain it was only a week, and then I was literally off to army training camp for a year. So so yes, where I suppose a lot of other people were off doing other bits, and they perhaps had the rest of the summer, and perhaps didn't do anything. If you doing further education, maybe I guess till September. But yeah, I literally had a bit of week, and then I was off to Kent, off to Folkestone for about a year. So, but that's perhaps another story for another day. But yes, that was like I said, I kind of went straight into the army, and I was here several years anyway. So but yes, all good fun. I struggled with exams, used to fall asleep in history classes. Actually, history is about one of the only classes I didn't mind, actually. Languages I absolutely hated. Even from first year, I'm sorry, it was just over my head. So I'm actually amazed these people who can do lots and lots of different languages. I just think that must be lovely to be able to do that, but I'm afraid my brain ain't configured that way. So yeah, science was okay to a point. Maths and that, I kind of struggled a little bit, which is hilarious now. The work I do now because I have to do finances all the time now. So and English was okay, but there we go. I'm trying to learn German. Oh, good luck, mate. No, actually, that one, I kind of, I suppose, learned. I only did it for about a year. I found that was a little bit easier. I thought to pick up French. I found an absolute nightmare. But I also think, kind of that age, I think you've got to have the interest, and I and I literally didn't. I had no interest in it at all. So unfortunately, hi, Ahmed. How are you? Good to see you on here. Thanks for popping by. So let me have some more. Let's get behind on this today. Oh dear, that's good. See, now I've got to admit, time has really flown by tonight. So, but yeah, but I didn't mind doing the old woodwork, metalwork, and all that kind of thing. I wouldn't say I was particularly any good at it, but that was always good fun. So, but that was the time when we used to have to do, I think it was called textiles then, and that was unfortunately another subject. The moment I walked into the classroom, I just switched off until we left again. Used to sit there clock watching for an hour, thinking, "God, it must be near the end of class soon, Julie." Younger people need to learn as much as can at school. Yes, absolutely correct, John. And I've always told my kids that. God, I'm just doing that, getting dead leg here. Yeah, I've always told them to do that. You'll never gain these years back. I know it's easier said than done, but we've all been there. But yeah, gain as much as you can because you'll definitely soak it up better. Because I can tell you now, as soon as you get in your 50s, your head's a lot of bloody serving you. You'll just, that's why you see all these old people writing things down all the time. But I suppose it's a bit easier now because we can just say sod it and ask AI. Plus, again, perhaps another subject for another night. Oh, what always kind of makes me laugh nowadays is how people use these mapping systems. Now, I do use them, but I also kind of check the route I'm going anyway. But I am always amazed how people literally follow these sat navs to the letter. And even when that you know full well has taken you the wrong way or to a wrong bit or something like that. But yeah, quite funny. So obviously, I do quite a bit of travelling for the job and locally, but I do travelling for the job. And yeah, it's always good to see. Perhaps another night we'll have a discussion about some of the drivers out there. I certainly do see some very interesting driving when I go about. So, but there, another topic for another night. So, when people turn onto a railway track. Yeah, yeah, that's I don't think until recently I've seen so many cars and you'll suddenly get to a roundabout and literally on the big grass roundabout do you see a car in the middle of it? And I thought I've been driving since bloody hell, since 1990 and I don't think I've ever achieved it. I, I don't know how they do it. I'm assuming they must do it on purpose. It's the only thing I can think of. So, but yeah, good, good fun, good fun. Yeah. So I remember sitting in the old exam hall, and that was another thing. And then, and sitting in exam halls is another huge thing. Really, I think you've really got to be chilled out, and that's when you get that paper in front of you. I mean, I don't know how they do it now. I think that's done on a bloody iPad or something now. But when we used to have paper and that, um, yeah, that's quite interesting. And it's one of them where you think you kind of know your subject, and then you actually sit in the exam hall and you think you're actually, do you know what, I've just suddenly forgot everything. So, but the fun adventure. How are you? Good to see you on here, John Oracle. How are you? Big hi. Thanks for popping by. Good to see you here. Good to see that you found my little channel. My trying to be an up and coming channel. We're trying to get there. So I once seen a driver stop in the middle of a railway crossing. Oh God. How does that not surprise? Now, actually, I was watching one of his YouTube videos the other day, and it was to do with these people all driving certain vehicles that clearly either should have been escorted or shouldn't have really gone over the railway line. It was so funny, and I just thought, what are people thinking? Honestly, what are people thinking? I just couldn't believe it. So I try, as people will see with the videos when I make the videos, I don't make it for, like I said, we don't do scripts or nothing. We try and do it a bit light-hearted. The last thing I want to see is you know, just sitting there watching some bloody corporate video. I do you know, I would so rather sit in YouTube and watch people. And if you make mistakes, so what? Okay, we're all human. If we was that professional, we'd be on telly. So NDR Awful Road. Yeah, I could put a lot of comments on that, big guys. Now, one, the NDR. Now, I know some people on here won't know what we're perhaps on about. This is a ring road, kind of, that's on the north side. Actually, it's on my side of Norwich. I use it very regularly, about every day. And yeah, I can. To start with, I can remember going to some hustings to do with politics locally, and there's a certain coloured part. So we'll say the Green Party were moaning like hell about the NDR. Now, there's bits I could moan about it, but they were actually saying, "Oh, it should have never been built. That will hardly be used." So we'll ask Big Gaz on how many people use it. Yeah, they wanted it into a cycle lane. It is a dual carriageway, but unfortunately, I don't know what brain cell actually had the idea of putting 3 lanes on roundabouts. Do you know what? I've been on some major motorways and been up to roundabouts and they don't have 3 lanes on. But I don't know why, but for some reason they seem to think that it needs 3 lanes. Now, people are struggling, to get round on 2 lanes, to work it out, I mean. So. I could see what it should have never ever had 3 lanes, and two, they should have bloody well finished the road and joined it up to the A47 at Easton. Anyway, shout out, please. Yes, Fun Adventure. Big hi, thanks for popping by. Don't forget Fun Adventure. If you got a channel, let me know on here and let other people know. So and don't forget, you can sub and like and subscribe and everything to everyone else on there who's got channels to check them out. So don't forget, you can give me a sub as well. How Nokia works. Okay. How does Nokia work? Not sure about that, unless I've missed something. Milton Keynes is a place. 123 roundabouts. Yes, Mick. Milton Keynes is the home of the roundabout. I haven't been up there for quite a while. I used to go up there one time quite a bit for work, but I don't not been up there recently. So cheese sandwich, ice cream and a bit of cake. Yeah. Do you know what? Already I'm kind of clock watching for my holiday in June. And I know I've still got months and months and months away yet, but yeah, it's you can't help it. You just I've got to admit, the workload I've got at the minute. I'll tell you what, June won't get here soon enough. Oh dear, I might have to have another little short break before we go. But yeah, the NDR could have been a lot better than it was. So yes. Look at that, we've done 32 minutes already. That soon got. So I haven't even drunk my tea, look. Right, we'll do about, let's do another few more minutes. So, any more for any more? So, no, gear 1, gear 2, gear for roundabout, Rinsons. Yeah. Oh, do love that cup of tea. So, I've been trying to cut down on the old caffeine a bit this year, but I don't perhaps have as much. I definitely have cut down the tea because I've got to admit, I suppose this is the thing working at home. You literally, you put the kettle on every hour, especially when you're on your own as well. So, but I've been trying not to do that. Now, what I have got kind of hooked on to, I have wolves outside. Okay, right. Do tell. Yeah, and what I've got hooked onto is Volvic. Volvic and their flavoured waters. So don't know why. I just kind of got to liking them. So I've had a few of them this week. They're quite nice. So, but you do tend to go for it quite quick. Do we get free tea with a membership? If only, mate. Eh? That'd be good, wouldn't it? What we need to do is some meetups. That's what we need to do. You've got wolves and polar bears outside. Okay, well, that sounds quite good. I think that's. Well, it may well be. Who knows, Mick? You never know. You never know who comes in on these channels. I'm sure you get him on yours. Small part of the new A47 opened. Yes, we'd like a lot of. I wish they'd bloody hurry up with Thickford. Oh dear, I don't know. It's Absolutely madness outside. Utter madness. Right. You know you can get free coffee from Waitrose. No, I didn't know that. So, we haven't had... No, we ain't had that one yet, mate. Glad you brought that in, Mick. Oh, dear. Right, okay. We've done our just over half an hour. Look at that. These Thursdays go quick, don't they? Now, I didn't get any questions or anything to go through or mail to me or anything like that, so that's fine. We can cut that off and seal that off. Again, I'll be back here next Thursday, so anyone who's just joining, watching, you can always join us on a Thursday UK time at 7:30 p.m. We're normally here every Thursday, so I won't put a notification out, but this is where I'll be. So, yeah, what I will do, if I'm not going to do it, I will just put a notice out. But if you don't see a notice, we'll be here. So, and then hopefully when the weather gets better in the next month or so, or perhaps May, yeah, we'll do it as May in the UK. Then we'll perhaps do some of these outside or go out somewhere or something. Who knows? Right. Okay. Where are we? They can give you a coin with your shopping. Yes, they can. They can, Mick. Right, well, thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Really do appreciate it. Really enjoy our little Thursday chats. So, and it's been quite helpful me putting the strict modification on here to solve some of the messages we normally get. But yes, thanks for popping in. Don't forget, there's been lots and lots of great YouTubers come on this channel as well, messaging, so don't forget to check their channels out. They've got some really good content, and give them a like and subscribe. Do you see where I filmed for an hour yesterday and then deleted it in the editing software? No, I didn't, Mick. No, I didn't. I'll have to have a look, mate. Hopefully I might get 5 minutes tomorrow to actually watch something. So yeah, I will have a check in the morning, mate. So, but anyway, thanks for everyone. Like I said, if you do subscribe to me, thank you so much. And if you'd like to, I'd really appreciate it, free of charge. I will see you in the next one. So be good to yourselves. Have a great weekend. Look after yourselves and everyone else. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.